Combs.
Puff Daddy?
Yeah.
P. Diddy, whatever you call yourself these days. Yeah, go ahead.
I had with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would tell me what to do with Cassie. I was like a slave, okay? For them, that's what I was. That's all right? I caught herpes. And I came back and I sued him for the herpes and won.
Y'all, Hollywood is shaking right now because one of Diddy's alleged freak-off victims just stepped up. And boy, is he singing like a canary. He claims to have seen everything that went down at Diddy's parties, including some of your favorite celebrities having the time of their lives at the same parties they claim to never have attended. We're talking about some of the biggest celebrities in Hollywood, and like that's not wild enough, there are now reports that some of the tapes that the feds found during the raids on Diddy's houses clearly showed the celebs, faces and all. Y'all, we're about to see some chaos in the upcoming weeks, and it's not going to look pretty. In case y'all missed the tea, some interrogation footage just leaked online of a man who claimed to allegedly have been forced into freak-offs with Diddy. The man was one of the perpetrators who shot up one of Trump's hotels. Now, if y'all know anything about alleged criminals, it's that they're always willing to snitch to get themselves a deal with the authorities. And in this case, this man has snitched hard because he brought up Diddy unprovoked.
Combs.
Puff Daddy?
Yeah.
P. Diddy, whatever you call yourself these days. Yeah, go ahead.
I had with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would tell me what to do with Cassie. I was like a slave, okay? For them, that's what I was. That's all right? I caught herpes. And I came back and I sued him for the herpes and won.
One of the first names that he brought up was Rick Ross for Phil, hinting that things between Diddy and Rick Ross got intimate, if you know what I mean.
Ross, which they good buddies, okay? They're gay.
Who?
Both. Diddy and Ross. And Khaled. They're all gay, okay?
DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, and P. Diddy?
Yeah.
They all gay?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's interesting that Rick Ross was one of the first names to pop up because he has gone over and beyond to hide his association with Diddy. There are a lot of names that pop up constantly when talking about Diddy's shenanigans, but Rick Ross isn't among the top contenders. However, that doesn't mean that nobody has ever spoken about it. Rick Ross's baby mom, Tia Kemp, has been trying to tell us about his association with Diddy for a hot minute now. However, a lot of people didn't believe her. If there is one thing that Tia is known for, it's dragging Rick Ross for filth on social media. Well, a couple of weeks ago, she claimed that Rick Ross had allegedly been getting his cheeks clapped by Diddy right under our very noses.
You big mouth. Will, I want you to talk. Don't be scared now. No Diddy, huh? You scared now, huh? I know y'all on them tapes. Freaky. I know you is. 10 churn have. It's time to show them churns now. I ain't gonna let off you. Jets no more. You running out of. Go over there and get Diddy. Go ride the bike with him, you fat.
Child, one thing about Tia, she is going to read Rick Ross for filth. That man hasn't had a day of rest since they got together, but in this case, it looks like she was telling the truth because Diddy's alleged victim also said the same thing. But that's not all, because according to the streets, another celeb who was happily partying it up with Diddy was Cuba. And this one is not shocking at all. For one, Lil Rod kind of spilled this tea on a lawsuit where he put Cuba squarely at Diddy's parties. It's not like Cuba was an innocent bystander because Lil Rod claimed that Cuba was allegedly having the time of his life at the parties. TMZ reported that Jones claims Diddy introduced him to Cuba Gooding Jr. on Diddy's yacht, and Cuba allegedly began touching, groping, and fondling Mr. Jones's legs, his upper inner thighs near his, the small of his back near his buttocks, and his shoulders. Rod also added a picture of Cuba being touchy, and yeah, it kind of looks sus. And like the saying goes, birds of a feather flocks together, and these two were flocking hard. See, before this Diddy stuff went down, Cuba had already been accused multiple times of inappropriate behavior with women. So back in 2014, Cuba Gooding Jr.'s wife of 20 years, Sarah, decided to call it quits and file for legal separation. She didn't really go into detail about why, but the rumor mill was buzzing that Cuba's infidelity had finally pushed her to the edge. Word on the streets at the time was that she found out he had been allegedly SAing other women and decided she wasn't sticking around for that mess. After she left, his behavior only seemed to spiral even more. A bunch of women started coming forward, accusing him of being super inappropriate. To this day, over 30 women have made allegations against him, and who knows how many others might still be staying quiet. It's kind of giving Diddy version 2.0. One of his alleged victims exposed him, saying, "At about midnight on March 1st, Cuba Gooding Jr. waltzed into the bar we were at and proceeded to harass a number of women there." occurred when women would be taking pictures with him. He would grab cheeks during the picture taking, and when women reacted negatively to that, he would proceed to either touch women's breasts or tell them that he loved them. There's even a video that shows him touching a woman's chest without her consent in a bar. Then yet another woman came forward saying Cuba had allegedly SA'd her back in 2013. According to her, they met at a hotel in Soho and he invited her to grab a drink. While they were having drinks, Cuba supposedly told her he needed to change clothes and invited her up to his room. Once they got there, she claimed he SA'd her. He was arrested for this in 2019, and I'm sure you remember that video of his arrest. It went viral and quickly became a viral meme on social media. But that was not the only lawsuit that he faced, because he also resolved another criminal case in Manhattan without going to trial, pleading guilty to a single charge of harassment stemming from an accusation of kissing a woman without her consent. There was also another case where the woman accused Cuba of battery and the intentional infliction of emotional distress, ended with a judge ordering him to pay $80,000 in compensatory damages to the plaintiff, Natasha Ashworth. In early 2022, he struck a plea deal to avoid prison time for the Soho SA, pleading guilty to a reduced charge. Cuba's lawyer attempted to defend his behavior, saying, "He's very, very outgoing, he's very friendly, he's very jovial. I guess the word is, sometimes he's frisky, but he's not inappropriate. He respects women. I've known him for over 30 years, never been charged or convicted of any crimes. I don't think it's going to create any pattern or affect his case." Well, just before the trial was scheduled to start, it was announced that Cuba and the woman had decided to settle out of court to avoid a trial that would prove to be messy for them. Yeah, Cuba's willingness to attend Diddy's parties isn't shocking, because we already knew that he liked to get himself into some freaky stuff. Another name that keeps coming up is Oprah Winfrey, and the internet is kind of divided over this one. While some people feel like Oprah has done a lot for the black community and she is something of a black icon, other people find it weird how Oprah always seems to find herself around shady men. Before this thing with Diddy, Oprah was tied to a Brazilian man named John of God, who claimed to be a healer. Oprah propped John up, declaring him to be the best thing ever. She claimed that he was the real deal and even featured him on her show multiple times.
Sure would ever happen. One of the most famous spiritual healers in the world rarely talks to anyone on camera. John of God agreed to sit down with me under a mango tree on the grounds of the casa.
Well, the next thing we knew, John of God was exposed for some real messed up stuff. He was exposed for keeping women chained up against their will. He forcefully impregnated them, forced them to have babies, and then sold the babies for profit or for their organs. Child, that was seriously messed up. When John was exposed, Oprah immediately turned her back on him, deleting the videos of them together and acting like nothing had happened. She was also great friends with Harvey Weinstein, which makes you question why she always seems to be around shady men. That's not all. British actress Katie Noble once called out Oprah and Naomi Campbell for allegedly helping Harvey Weinstein pull some dirty tricks on her, leading to her being SA'd.
And he was with people in which I admired dearly. He was with Naomi Campbell. He had Oprah Winfrey there with him, who entered the room and was swinging off his arm and just seemed like a very dear friend.
Oh, and we need to talk about J.Lo, because even though she broke up with Diddy more than 24 years ago, she was still allegedly involved in the freak-offs. And according to this blind item that has been making the rounds, 50 Cent allegedly has evidence to incriminate J.Lo. According to an insider, 50 Cent is reportedly giving wires to the Hollywood friends that the FBI have knock tapes of Jennifer Lopez having intercourse with underage girls and boys at the P. Diddy freak-off parties, and Lopez was caught in several knock tapes that were seized by the FBI in the P. Diddy house's raid. That's the reason Ben Affleck and Lopez are getting divorced, as the FBI informed Affleck of the videos and future indictments coming. Fans are shocked about how many celebs are allegedly involved in this, and they left comments saying, in other news, this Diddy thing is going to take hundreds of big celebs down. We'll be left listening to Celine Dion and Mango Groove. Let's hope Diddy takes Oprah, J.Lo, the Kardashians, Beyonce and Jay-Z, and all other criminals and entertainment moguls, celebrities, politicians, and government officials down the drain with him. And I feel Diddy is going to snitch on everybody. This is a lot, but let me know what y'all think about this. So drop your thoughts in the comments and check out this next video.